Good evening, friends, followers, channel members. Happy Friday! I thought it was about time we went on tour again. It's been a while. We've obviously stuck to Europe quite a bit whilst we've been enjoying our Fenix aircraft. So let's take the Fenix on tour. We're in Colombia. My first sort of thought, just looking around now, is I'm really hoping my live weather is working. This looks very clear compared to what I expected. There should have been a few clouds scattered, I think about 2,000 feet, which when you consider the airfield elevation is about 7,000 feet as well. So we will, I guess we'll see. I think one of the main things that, the main reason I want to have some proper weather is the fact that the weather at our destination isn't actually meant to be that good tonight. So let me just pop in the operational flight plan in the chat for those of you watching on YouTube, for those of you on Twitch as well. Good evening. So Dark, you're there. You say you've got a few clouds. I'll pan around in a little minute and have a look. Let me just get the operational flight plan in there and pinned. There we go. That's it. You should all have that now to check out. So, a chilled out Friday night flight in an area of the world that I'm completely unfamiliar with, live on VATSIM and potentially into a thunderstorm. What could be better? Grab yourselves a drink, let's enjoy. Welcome on board, Danny, Harley Baptiste, Dark Fury as well, Dave Armitage, hello from Leeds, Jez Davis, problems with drones being flown near East Midlands tonight. That doesn't sound good. Top Gun, we're not in fly-by-wire, we are still in our Fenix aircraft. This is great. Do you know, I was so surprised to find this livery in the livery manager. I mean, come on. They literally have pulled out all the stops to find liveries like this. Viva Air. Our call sign tonight is a right mouthful. Viva Colombia 5518. Barwald, good day to you. Monaliva, hello as well. Right. Shall we get on board and see what Colombia has in store for us? Oh, actually, just before I do that, let's spin around. Do we have any clouds knocking about? This looks very clear. That's concerning, isn't it? No clouds to speak of. Interesting, very interesting. I'm just going to double check. Do you know, actually, one of the things that what we can do, let's just jump inside the flight deck, and if we press what? That is interesting. QNH 1024, when I press the B button it goes standard. We're not that high, but I'm guessing that it is actually using QNH 1024. Right, okay. Is the YouTube title telling us that we're in the fly-by-wire? That's not correct. 1 second. Let me go ahead and edit that. Little messages there with the discrepancy. There we go. Edited it. We are indeed in the Fenix. Now, what's going on with this weather? Let me see. The problem is, of course, that we can't just reboot it, can we? If we check on the current METOR for our departure, which is just here, yeah, so should have scattered clouds about 2,000 feet. So, let's see. Dark Fury says, check you've got live weather on in the weather tab or turn weather off, save on, save in settings. Well, if we do turn live weather off here, it makes very little difference. Then if we put live weather back on again, it's still making no difference, is it? Ah, Christian, greetings to you. I do hope we've got live weather working. The only way I've ever found of getting live weather working when it's not loaded in correctly is to restart the sim, and I don't really want to do that. So Danny says turn it off and on. In the general settings, not in the tab. Oh, hang on then. Well, let's just double check that then. So if we go to our general options, and where even is the weather? Is it on data? Live weather is on. Well, so if we turn it off and then turn it back on again. Is that apply and save that and then turn it back on again? Will that work? Doesn't appear to be doing very much, sadly. Or do we have to turn it off there and then do what I've just done? So Dark, you said you've got a few clouds. I've got nothing. Yeah, Christian, potentially we could. I should be expecting to see a few clouds here. Not a lot, but what's really going to be important is when we get to our destination. We should have some nice thunderstorms brewing if that is the case. So it's just strange. Oh well. Right, well, if we turn that... oh, hang on. Let's just turn that off. Now let's go to our general options. So, Dark Fury says, turn off in data under settings, save, turn on, save. Let's try it. I'll try that, and then if not, we'll just have to crack on. So, we've turned that off, saved it. Now, let's turn it back on. Save it. Go back, resume, and pop live weather on. I think we're just going to have to stick with what we've got, aren't we? The QNH is indeed correct, but there you go. Oh well. Broken weather, no good. What I could do is let me just try and load back in. It won't take too long to load this in. Our pushback time is not for another 48 minutes, so we should still be okay. Frustrating, I know, but stick with me. Yeah, so live weather, flight conditions. Well, let's just check. We've got live weather definitely turned on. And close. Let's load that in, see what it says. Mustafa, I've not been doing too bad actually with the rudder. We've never had anything go completely wrong on touchdown or takeoff. So yeah. I mean, if the weather is totally rubbish, not working, then what I'll do is I'll just tailor it to the current meta at our arrival destination, so we'll still get the overall effect for the flight tonight. Obviously, just live weather, I think, tends to look a little bit better, doesn't it, if it's working? But never mind. Oh, goodness me, why are we starting mid-air? Hey, look, I've got clouds, though. What's gone off there? Oh, goodness me. Back to the main menu. I have indeed turned on the seatbelt sign. You're quite right. Self-loading cargo. Stop. Did I not select the gate? Pretty certain I selected the gate there. Weather's working. Do that again. Right. Gate 3. Departure. Weather is all working. Gate 3. Fly. Let's try again, shall we? Randall, President Beers sets it to standard. I think that's probably got something to do with the altitude of the airport that we're departing at. I think it's something like 7,000 feet. We'll check that later on. Let's get in and start, shall we? Oh, thanks for sticking with me whilst we troubleshot those issues. Troubleshot those issues. Hopefully this will start on the ground this time. Hey, look, we've got weather. That's better. Right, well, we are on the ground and, oh, might as well get everything set up then, whilst we are here. Okay, you guys have got the operational flight plan. Our aircraft should be in a cold and dark state. there we go. So, scheduled time of departure is 2000 hours, which is in 45 minutes. Funnily enough, why is it not giving me a countdown? That's a little bit strange, isn't it? Let's just check on the mass and balance page that has imported that correctly. Oh yeah, it appears to have. Right, okay, never mind. Christian, no, we're just enjoying ourselves. We're going on tour. We've not taken the Fenix on tour before, so I thought, well, why not? We might as well. So, I can't remember the last on tour we did. It was probably the USA. We've done a lot in the USA before, so I thought we might as well do something a little bit different here, hadn't we? Right, flight time is 1 hour 24. That jetway was getting a bit jiggy with the aircraft just then, wasn't it? Let's go and grab the META, and then we can start setting everything up. Christian, I most certainly did not drink Colombian coffee. Our QNH is 3021. Oh yeah, we're in America, aren't we? Need to get my head around that. 3021. Scattered 2,000 feet. Wind 040 at 8. Visibility is good, 23 degrees. And 1023 as well. Oh, they give it you in both. That's nice. Altimeter is 3021, QNH 1023. I like it. Let's have a look what's happening at our arrival airport then. Oh, look. Thunderstorms, rain, visibility is down to 4,000 meters, scattered cumulonimbus 1,200 feet. It's a nice RNAV approach as well coming in. QNH is 1012. Lovely. Right, well, let's go ahead and start getting things set up. Is the APU will probably be on, won't it? APU is on, packs are on. That's fine. That's all fine. Right, so the QNH then was, how do we, do you know what, I'm not even sure how we set this to the US of A version, 3021, which equates to what? Oh, I see, we set it there, it changes it there. Ah, that's nice. There we go, 3021. Yeah, told you, 7,000 feet. I'm going to link these up as well. I forgot as well, because we're in a different livery, all of my settings have changed. So let me go to my sim settings and let me just link some of the controls here. Right, they're linked. So that should... Oh, I'm going to have to do this first time, aren't I? They're now linked. Do that again. 3021, 3021. There we go. Right, okay, so standby instrument is set. We'll set Unicom on here. We've got no air traffic control because we are on VATSIM still. So we'll go to Unicom in a little while. Everything else set down here. Squawking 2,000. Just turn up the brightness on the panel down there. Initial climb out today is going to be flight level 140. Actually, it's not flight level 140. It's an altitude of 140. Transition level is 18,000 feet. That's all set up with the constraints on there as well. Right, so given the weather that we've currently got at our destination, what fuel should we think about taking? Not blog fuel. Andres MT, welcome to your country. You're here right now in Medellin. Oh, that is nice. I love it when we get people on the chat who are actually from the areas of the world that we're currently flying in. As Christian's just said, you could be our tour guide. What is there to see apart from lots of terrain? Right, plug fuel is 7.8 tons. I'm going to take 9 tons of fuel. I know what the weather is. I've already been through this. I've already checked it. The weather's not good. I'm going to take 9 tons of fuel, and if we have to divert for whatever reason, we've actually got quite a bit of trek to our alternate. So we'll get 9 tons requested, which is 1.2, 1.4 tons of fuel extra. Alright, let's go to our mass and balance page. So, 9 tons of fuel, please, Mr. Fuel Truck Driver. There we are. I'm going to start loading the aircraft. Our pushback time isn't for another 40 minutes or so, 39 to be exact. But if we can get away a little bit early, then I'm not going to complain. So, let's start getting the passengers boarded. Fuel's loading in as well.
We're ready to start boarding the aircraft now, so you can go ahead and open the doors. Thank you.
Sure, no problem.
Right, so we've got the guys loading in. Fuel pumps are off, seatbelt signs are off, fuel's coming in, everything all is set up. Let's go through and start setting up the box. So let me just get the ATSU AOC flight in it, get that done. I tell you what we'll do as well, just let this set itself up. We'll make sure failures are turned on as well. Oh, can you imagine if we had one tonight? The first time outside of Europe, doing something a little bit different, and we get a failure. 1 hour 24 minutes, the flight time today. Let's go to our config page, failures, and yeah, there we go. Minor, realistic, save. Right, we've got 3 nav green, we've got valid air cycle, etc., correct engine database, alright. And we are also using the FS Realistic Pro version as well tonight, so you may see some other effects as well that you're not completely used to. So our flight number today is... what is our flight number today? So it's Victor Victor Hotel 5518. Cost index of 15. That's more than EasyJet. Cruise flight level 360. Temperature of -47. We'll grab the winds. What's the tropo? 51265. Do you know what? That is incredibly close. I'm going to leave that. Right, we'll do a wind request. Jet's dead. You're hoping for a double engine failure in the cruise. No. No, 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 no. I mean, get something like that close to our destination. There's nowhere to land other than the destination. It's an island in the Caribbean that we're going to. Right, so that's done. And the IRS init page, let's check these coordinates out. So where are we? We're at stand 3. So 6102 north and 75.25.7 west. Beautiful, that all computes. So we're going to be departing today on the runway 01, and the original the flight plan is wrong actually. It's got a standard instrument departure in there that is only to be used late at night. So it's actually the IBDA 1 Alpha that we want. There it is. IBDA 1 Alpha, and the transition is UPMEL. Insert. Yeah, look at the terrain here. You can see how high it is. So, the arrival then at the other end, we're going to be doing the RNAV. Lower minimums, runway 06. And that comes in on the Bodek 1 Charlie. Bodek 1 Charlie, and the VIA is, let me double check this, So they're just RMP approaches. Here we go. It is Lviv. I believe that is. Yeah, so there's our Bodek. Where is it? Bodek 1 Charlie should be our arrival. Oh, hang on. Wrong runway. Try the right chart. There we go. Bodek 1 Charlie. Lviv. There we go. Distance of 572. I've got 561. So that's okay. Right. Look at the departure as well, how that's coded. That looks good on the navigation display. We'll check that with the actual coding here. It's not got it written down actually on this one, so we're going to have to work through it ourselves. So, at 7,430 feet, it's telling us we're going to turn and head to the Mike Romeo November VOR, max speed of 180 knots, keeping that speed nice and low down so we have the ability to climb. We really need to climb. Look at the minimum safe altitudes as well, 12,800 feet, 12,100 feet, and then from there we go to Ibnam and Opmel. There's Ibdam and then Opmel. Lovely. So that's all coded correctly. Right, onto our RadNav page. I'm going to hard tune the Mike November Romeo VOR, which is what we're going to use. It's our first waypoint. Have I got that right? Why am I not picking that up? Mike Romeo November. Try again. Mike Romeo November. There it is. Right, onto the Init B page then. So, do we have our preliminary load sheet? No received messages. That's interesting. Let's try resending that load sheet. There we go. Oh, they're lazy in Colombia. They're too busy enjoying themselves. All this beautiful warm weather. Not getting the preliminary load sheet. Right, so we've got a zero fuel weight of 58.7 and a zero fuel weight CFG 32.1. Fuel for the alternate is, look at that, 2.8 tons. That's how far away the alternate is if we can't get in. 2.8 tons. Right, fuel planning. We're going with 9 tons on board. Let the aircraft work out what it thinks we need to complete the flight. 7.9. Good. So let's update that. That gives us an extra 34 minutes thinking time, holding time. Chance for the thunderstorm to pass if we can't get in first time round. We could potentially just enter a hold, sit there and wait to see if things are going to get better, couldn't we? Right, now onto the performance then. Now this is going to be interesting. So, because we are so high up, 7,000 feet, there is a school of thought that would suggest that doing things like leaving the APU on to take care of the to have the bleed air on will be fine. Now this is interesting because as we run the departure performance calculations, we're going to have the packs on, but they're not going to be powered by the engines, so the packs will be off here. So we're going to be departing runway 01. It is indeed dry. Optimum flap configuration. I'm going to leave that. Forced toga. No. Anti-ice off. Packs off. Takeoff weight is, what was that takeoff weight? 67. Well, that's quite, yes. Not ridiculously heavy, but it's not light. 67.5 tons. So we'll just let the app do its job. Takeoff weight CFG is 30.1. There we go. Grab the live weather. So basically, I've left this to optimum, not forcing toga. So let's see. I'm not going to use intersection data. I'm going to use full length. That's the only option there anyway, actually. So what does it give us? Right, we can do a flex takeoff. Flaps 2. All right. Let's hope it works. 131, 141, 141. Transition altitude 18,000 feet. Thrust reduction acceleration altitude is. Do you know what? What is the airfield elevation here? Does it? It'll tell us up here. So, right. So 8. I'm going to add 1,000 to this, so that'll be 8,025. There we go. Now, I don't think there's anything in the actual charts regarding noise abatements and things. Oh, hang on, that's the wrong chart. Wrong airport. Airport info. There's information on Pastria two-way radio required. Really? Of course, you need a two-way radio. Yeah, nothing. In there about noise abatement. Andres, yeah, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We'll be taking off with, well, we can leave the APU on, and because we're so high up, we'll have the packs on, but the APU is going to be powering the packs, so we're not going to lose any engine performance. It would be the same as doing a packs off departure, just to give some extra oomph to the engines, but because we are so high up, we need to start pressurizing that cabin as well pretty soon. Right, that's all done with the speeds. Engine out, so it's going to be flaps 2. What was that flex? It was quite low, wasn't it? 50. Yes, DC. Good evening. Done. Right, secondary flight plan. Now, our engine out procedure. This is interesting. So the engine out procedure for me is going to be exactly the same as the actual standard instrument departure. The only difference is I'm going to tell it once we get to Manila VOR, we're going to enter the hold. So let's pop that in. Enter the hold. What was that inbound course? Was 185. And the hold consists of left turns. There we go. And then we'll look to come back in here. So let's pop in our new destination, which is our departure destination. Sierra Kilo Romeo Golf. And that would be coming back in on runway 01, ILS 01. No star and no veers. Yeah, there we go. So just straight to hold. It is pretty much essentially the exact same as the missed approach procedure. Okay, done. Now let's have a look at our performance, because we have a speed restriction there of 185 knots. Now that means we are going to keep flaps 2 out until passing the VOR. So we're going to pre-select speed of 185 knots. And we don't need to worry about cleaning up until after that. Right, let's do a brief so we know what we're doing here. So the weather here is a few clouds, but nothing that will stop us getting in should we need to. Worth mentioning as well at this point, our takeoff weight is 67.5, which is heavier than the maximum landing weight, so we would need to think about running overweight landing procedure if we needed to get back in here quickly. Or we can just enter the hold and burn it all off. The aircraft is the Fenix A320, fully serviceable with the exception of weather radar, which would have been quite useful given the thunderstorms at our destination today. No NOTAMs for our departure. Threats to be aware of then, well, terrain. So we've got terrain to the north, northwest, etc. as we can see. We've also got a little bit of terrain here down in the southeastern sector as well, all based off the Romeo November Golf VOR just here. But yeah, terrain is the biggest factor. Terrain and the fact that I'm unfamiliar with the airport, but it should be quite a nice departure. Autopilot can take care of that. We're going to push back from stand number 3, and we're going to then taxi out via Sierra Golf Alpha, taxiing down to the Alpha 2 holding point, full length departure. We're going to depart with APU running and packs on, powered by the APU. We'll get those off once we're nice and safe above 15,000 feet and we're clear of terrain. Pretty much like we would do if we were in departing somewhere like Innsbruck, for example. We just mentioned, of course, that it's almost straight out right-hand turn, and then we'll start to clean up the aircraft once passing the Manila VOR. That is our only speed restriction, and our initial climb out is going to be 14,000 feet. Von McLean, good evening. Thanks for stopping by. Right, everybody hopefully happy with that. Engine out procedure. It's a standard Airbus emergency brief engine out procedure. We're going to follow the SID, and we're just going to enter the hold at Mike Romeo November. Andres with his local knowledge telling us it would normally be Sierra 1 Hotel Alpha. Let's just check that out so we know where we're going. Oh, right, okay, fair enough. We'll take Sierra 1 Hotel Alpha. Nice, thank you very much. Initial line 40,000, that's all set. Currently squawking. Refueling is complete. Let me just see how the boarding is going on. Yeah, I just wondered why that hasn't updated to our actual time of departure. Never mind. Doesn't seem to be affecting things too much. Right, we're obviously still boarding. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get our fuel pumps on. External power can be disconnected now. Let's turn down the temperature, shall we? Because it is quite warm here. What is it, about 22 degrees? Something like that. Turn the cabin down. Let's get rid of our external power. Check a couple of the SD pages. So fuel is all loaded and balanced. Hydraulic fuel's good. Electric page showing now that the APU is powering the essential bus. And the pressure for our landing elevation auto 0 feet. I'm looking forward to the approach. Has to be said, so do stick with us for that. Danny, is the Mike Romeo November an overfly waypoint? Let me have a quick look. I think it was. No, it's not. No, or it certainly doesn't show it just there. Does it say it in the flight plan page? No, it's not. So that's fine. Tell you what we're going to do as well. I'm going to just remove the limit there. We don't need that because, of course, we're high enough as it is. We are not going to be looking to target 250 knots when passing 10,000 feet to begin with. We're only 3,000 feet to go. Christopher Shaw, good evening. Jimbo, good evening to you as well. Right, did I get the seatbelt signs on? No, I didn't. There we go, seatbelt signs are now on.
Yeah, we're nearly ready to go, so you can go through once everyone's on board. Thanks a lot.
So how is everybody doing this Friday? Hope you're all well. We're just waiting for our last few passengers to get on board.
We're almost done. It shouldn't take much longer.
And wherever you are in the world, hope you're having a good Friday and got a good weekend lined up as well. I like my Friday night flights, particularly when we're not doing 100% real ops. I have no idea what kind of SOPs Viva Colombia use. Although, funnily enough, reading a little bit about this company, who I'd never heard of before, one of the founders is one of the guys that helped set up Ryanair originally. Also linked with Allegiant in the USA as well. Christopher, you've been enjoying the all-inclusive lounge. Yeah. Oh, well, that's what channel membership gets you, my friend. Yeah, look at that. Cabin altitude at the moment. 6,750 50 feet. Yes, so just to talk through how we're going to do this, we're going to do a normal taxi out, engine start, etc. But then we're going to leave the APU master on. We're going to leave the APU bleed on. Then once we get up high enough, we're clear, happy of the terrain, we'll turn pack 1 off. We'll turn APU bleed off. We'll turn the APU master off. Then we'll turn pack 1 back on again, and the engines will then take over. Danny, you'd heard of the name Viva Air, but you didn't know it had this livery. It's kind of a bit of a funky livery as well, isn't it? It's quite neat. The fact that the Fenix gang have actually included this livery in it is just, it's just stunning. It's really neat. Yeah, we've got our clouds there now, haven't we? Free little airport as well, this, from flightsim.to, so kudos to the developer of that. So where are we going to be going? We're going to be taxiing down there, and our departure runway is down there somewhere. DC go, ouch, I mentioned Ryanair. I don't mind mentioning them. Of course, when we're taking our aircraft on tours and stepping out of the EasyJet flight deck, I also like to change the banner and the overhead so that the colours there reflect the airline that we're flying. David, you were a little bit disappointed that Wizz Air didn't come with the Phoenix livery manager. Well, there's a very good reason for that, and that is because the Phoenix don't fly the CFE engines. So when the other engines are released, then my mind's just gone blank of what they're called. Someone will let me know. Then we may get things like the Wizz Air available to us. Right, 6 passengers left to go. Right, let's run the before start checklist then, because we're pretty much all waiting. So, before start checklist, cockpit preparation is complete, our signs are on and auto. Ideas, we've got 3.5 green. Fuel quantity is 8980 kilograms and balanced. F&GS is set. Altimeter is 3021, 7,030 feet. Right, I think we should be about done. We've got 1 passenger remaining. There we are. Boarding is completed. Lovely.
Captain, all passengers are on board and we're finished setting up. Doors are also now closed.
Thanks a lot.
Lovely. So, doors are closed and we're pretty much good to go. I just need that final load sheet.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. My name
Right, it seems all our calculations are valid. Our weight, takeoff weight is 100 grams less than 100 grams? That's a piece of paper. 100 kilograms less than we planned for, so we're valid and we're all good. Oh, dog food, you're not invisible. You're flying Banana Airlines tonight by the looks of things, but you are visible.
Cabin crew, what about ready for snags? Is on the door there, crash check thing.
So, we'll get the tug into position, we'll tune to Unicorn 122.8. Nose wheel steering's disconnected. Where are we? That's a question I need to ask, seriously. Because I need the name of the airport before I start making calls on Unicom. Medellin, there we are. Medellin traffic, Viva Colombia 5518, pushing back from stand 3, facing northeast. Right, our tug is connected. Let's do our before start checklist below the line. So windows and doors, not yet closed and armed. Beacon light is on. Mobile phone is on silent. Parking brake is set. Doors are now closed and armed. Fantastic. Right, in that case, we are ready to go. So, we'll release the parking brakes. Back we go. Engine mode selected to ignition and starting engine 1. Top Gun says it's pronounced Medellin. Fair enough, I won't remember that, but I do appreciate the input. YT Beats, if you get yourself on our Discord server, send us some screenshots, we'll perhaps be able to help you. Stig, you're the bass player in Banana Airlines.
Medellin traffic. Avianca 875 taxi via Hotel Alpha holding Alpha 1 short 01.
Look at Dark Fury with the lingo.
Channel members, on behalf of the crew, I ask that you now please direct your attention to the monitors and cabin crew as we review the emergency procedures. There are 6 emergency exits on this A320neo. Please take a minute to locate the one closest.
Cabin crew's confused, it's not an A320neo.
Count the number of rows to the exit. Should the cabin experience a pressure loss, stay calm and listen for instructions from your cabin crew. Oxygen masks will drop down from above your seat. Place the mask over your mouth and nose like this and pull the strap to tighten it. If you are traveling with children, ensure you put your own mask on first before helping others. In the unlikely event of an emergency landing and evacuation, leave all your carry-on luggage and items behind. Life rafts are located beneath your seats. Emergency lighting in the floor will guide you to your nearest exit. We now ask that all carry-on luggage is stowed away safely during the flight. Whilst we wait for takeoff, please take a moment to review the safety procedures and the safety card in front of you. Electronic devices must now be switched off or turned to airplane mode until we instruct you that
Rio Negro traffic, Avianca 9703 following company traffic, hold point runway 01.
If you are a frequent flyer with us, you can now join the channel as a member and take advantage of the extra perks to make your journey with us more enjoyable. Thank you for your attention and we hope you enjoy your flight.
And starting engine 2. I think we'll hold our pushback just there. Andres, this technically is, where is it? Rio Negro. Or Rio Negro. Again, good local knowledge. Right, parking brakes are set. Engine number 2 is spooling up. tug driver is moving out of the way. Just waiting for engine 2 to be available. Don't think it's said it just yet, unless I've missed it. They do look pretty stable to me. Okay, yeah, so engine 1 and 2 are now stable. So engine mode selector to ignition. And the APU will remain on, anti-ice will remain off. APU bleed is powering those packs. So we just want to on the spoilers, rudder set flaps 2, and that trim. Set that, which is probably about there, to be fair. So no real inputs for that. After start checklist. So anti-ice is off, econ status is checked, pitch trim is 28.7, and rudder trim is set 0. Let's do a flight control check. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, rudder, full left, and neutral. Rear aggro traffic Viva Colombia 5518, taxiing now via Sierra 1 Hotel Alpha, hold at Alpha 2 for runway 01. Right, let's go. So heads check, no change to our performance. It's going to be a flaps 2 flex 50 takeoff. Engine out procedure, we follow the SID, but enter the hold at the Mike Romeo November VOR. Departure is the IBDA 1 Alpha, and our initial stop climb is 15,000. Correction, it's 14,000 feet.
Medellin traffic, Avianca 875 line up 01.
Wonder how often this airport gets traffic on VATSIM. See, I'm having to put quite a bit of thrust in there, you know. To get us moving. It will be interesting to see just what the altitude does to our thrust on departure. I'm now wondering, should we have gone toga? How long is the runway? For anyone that's got the charts up.
Negro, Avianca 9703, holding short runway 01.
Right, following the taxi all the way down, before takeoff checklist to the line. Flight controls have checked, departure briefing is confirmed, flap setting config 2, FMA takeoff data 131 blue, 141 magenta, climb nav blue, 1FD2, 14,000 blue, flex is 60. Correction, flex is 50. We're not on payware today. No, we're on the freeware mods that are available.
Medellin traffic, up Avianca 875, rolling 01 on the IBDAM 1 Alpha departure.
Transponder is set. Eco memo. Takeoff. No blue. EFB is stowed. And it says here in Colombia, normally most people fly on Aveo. That's fair enough. Yeah. I think I've only been to South America and Latin America a handful of times here on the stream, so it is nice to do something different. And in terms of the scenery, I probably wouldn't grab the payware scenery just because I don't really fly here ever quite as much. But you know, to be honest, the scenery that we've got here, great job of the freeware scenery that we can see. Loving the trees here as well. The trees look good. Be interesting to see what the weather and the scenery is like at our at the other end. So the flight time today is about 1 hour and 24 minutes, I think, something like that. So a good 2.5 hour stream for you this this Friday evening. Nice straight taxiway so we can get the ground speed up. No more than 30. Andres, yes, we have the freeware scenery for our destination today.
Rio Negro, Avian Canada 703, taking off runway 01.
Christian, did I leave the APU on for the packs? You've turned it off by habit. Yes, I did. I'm just flying this as I would do Innsbruck. There goes one of our fellow flyers this evening. I must not. I think they're flying Avianca, and I don't have Avianca traffic installed. Matt Warren, hi to you. Happy Friday from a nice and chilly 46 degrees in Arizona. Wow. No. That's my idea of hell, literally. Gatti, why do we have the APU bleed on more power for takeoff? Yes, basically. Don't really want the packs off at this altitude either. And as Christians has just said, the APU will be feeding the packs. Oh wow, this... do you know what? We don't come to airports like this very often. Let's take the scenic route, shall we? Why not? Look at this. Ah, you don't really get airports like this in Europe. That is stunning, isn't it? Look at that view out of the wing. It's gorgeous. Renegro traffic, Viva Colombia 5518, lining up runway 01 for departure on the Avida 1 Alpha. Okay, lights on. Packs can remain on as well. TCAS TARA. Okay. Before takeoff checklist. Below the line. So, our cabin is secured.
Cabin crew, seats for takeoff.
Engine mode selector is normal. TCAS TARA. Packs are on, but fed by the APU. And anti-ice is... off. So because we want those engines to have quite a bit of thrust before we start moving and eating up the runway, I'm going to use the toe brakes to hold our aircraft. Oh, Danny, I crashed the desktop for you. Never. Oh, that's... I've been there, and it's awful. Right. Take off. Start the chrono. So I'm holding it on the toe brakes. Let those engines spool up. Let's listen and enjoy. Set takeoff thrust. Man flex SRS runway. Checked. V1. Rotate.
Positive brake for gear up.
Set climb thrust. Thrust climb. Climb. Autopilot 1 engaged. Interesting. Right, so that's not essential. Let's just concentrate on what we're doing at the minute. So we are holding flaps 2. APU is still on. Is the transponder still on standby? So it is. Thanks, Christian. At the moment, I'm just more concerned with making sure we get performance out of the aircraft. Don't want to fly into a hill. I should have the train radar on. Why don't I keep forgetting that this works? We've had 2 years of it not working. Okay, now let's push for managed speed. Flaps 1. Keep an eye on the temperature as well through this cloud layer, in case we need anti-ice. And flap 0. Spoilers disarmed. Feels a bit bumpy, doesn't it? Do you know what? I want to climb. I'm going to pull speed. Let's get up out of the way. We may be past the speed constraint, but we need to be clear of that terrain. Okay, so let's go ahead and just clear ourselves up higher now to flight level 250. So flight level 250 blue, set standard pressure. Clouds just covering the terrain as well, which makes it a little bit more dangerous, but with the terrain radar working we can obviously rely on that. Red Thread FS Realistic Pro is currently active and working on this stream, yeah. Matt Warren, same answer to you. That might be perhaps why the cabin is just bumping around a little bit more. It's not over the top either, is it? It's quite okay. Right. Main bit of departure is completed. Looks like we're nicely clear of the terrain ahead of us. Let's push for our managed speed now. Ding the cabin. We're at 15,000 feet. So
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll shortly begin our cabin service as we continue to climb to our cruising altitude. You may now use your electronic devices. Rechargeable battery packs are also available to purchase from our cabin crew. You can also ask them about joining our frequent flyers and becoming a channel member. Thank you.
such a different landscape compared to what we see in Europe. Right, let's get the APU off. The engines can sort the packs out now. So in order to do that, we are going to turn pack 1 off. APU bleed can come off. APU master can come off. And the packs can now go back on, powered by the engines. So let's go through the normal flows. We're about 10,000 feet now above our airfield. So, airports on the EFIS. Check our progress page. We're going to be cruising today at flight level 36. That's okay. It's within it's over 1,000 away from the recommended max. So, we've got cruise flight level 360 available to us. Let's go ahead and set that now. Flight level 360 blue. RadNav page, we can clear out the hard tuned ones. And set. That's it. We've got an hour and 10 minutes before we're at our destination. The weather is set to get worse as we head over there, if that is indeed going to be depicted here in the simulator. Cheetah is it worth upgrading from the original to the Pro version? I mean, the upgrade, if you had the original, is only, I think it's like £6, something like that. It's entirely up to you. It's not one of those that you can say yes, definitely, or no, don't. It's whatever you want out of your simulator, I guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign has now been turned on. You are now free to move around the cabin and the toilets are now available. However, when in your seat, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Certainly does add features such as just a few different sounds. Well, actually quite a lot of different sounds. But also the cabin does shake a little bit more. You could see on takeoff as well vibrations on the airframe as we were taking off. Obviously, you can rewind and see that if you missed it. So just look as well. Europe is so densely populated with airports. Here, of course, there really aren't that many around. Oh, hello. We've got the old-fashioned dial shown just here as well. I think that must be part of the airframe setup. Perhaps Viva Colombia have some of the older instruments still installed. Because I certainly don't remember adding that. Certainly right. Whoever earlier said that most people don't fly on VATSIM in this neck of the woods. We've got no ATC or anything like that. So we're completely on our own here in South America. We could do the EasyJet trick, couldn't we? Let's just lower our cost index. Get ourselves up to cruise a little sooner. Dark Fury singing all by myself. Santiago says they've got a couple of the 200s, but a lot more of the Neos as well. Oh, the Neo is a beast of an aircraft. And the A320 Neo as well. That is new lease of life for that airframe. I always liked the 330 anyway, but now they've modernised things a little bit with the 330 Neos. That's just it's just beautiful, isn't it? Right, we've got about 10,000 feet to go, and then we'll be at our cruise. But just looking at the landscape beneath us, look at the terrain. I mean, as gorgeous as it is, from a safety point of view, this is one of the last places in the world you would want a depressurization or double engine failure, something like that. I mean, double engine failures, as we all know, are unbelievably rare. In fact, between us in the chat now, how many people can name name incidents where there has been a double engine failure. And I mean a real double engine failure, not like the one at Kegworth. Because we've had instances before, of course, that there hasn't been a double engine failure, but the captains have sadly shut down the wrong engine. And Matt, the A350 may as well just have one giant LCD screen because there's just so much glass. Modernisation, isn't it, Matt? That's what it is. Christian Sully doesn't count. Well, technically, it was an engine failure, but yeah. With that engine failure, everyone survived. It doesn't get much better than that, does it? Top Gun says, so my take on watching your streams for the last month is that you're really impressed with the Phoenix aircraft and at this point enjoy it more than the fly-by-wire freeware. Maybe you should take the plunge. I find it difficult to disagree with anything you just said there, Top Gun. And again, I will stress this, that is not to say that I don't think the fly-by-wire is a good aircraft, because it is. And the amount of work that has gone into the fly-by-wire is just phenomenal, and the price of the fly-by-wire. Yeah, it's impossible to say anything bad about the fly-by-wire. But I think the Phoenix is just closer to the real thing, and when you strike, if you're the kind of pilot like me, a kind of sim pilot like me, who strives for being as close to reality as possible, then the Phoenix is there. And the fly-by-wire is close, but the Phoenix is closer. Matt, you wonder if the Phoenix can simulate a landing gear deploy failure? Maybe. I'm not going to try it. Oh man, look at that. That's gorgeous, isn't it? Christian, British Airways Flight 9, double engine failure when it flew through volcanic ash. Almost. It was a quadruple engine failure. It was a 747, and they indeed all got clogged up with ash. That was an amazing story, the fact they managed to land that. What was I looking at? I was looking at failures, wasn't I? Danny Kale 867 had 4 engine failures. Did it? Which one was that one? Have I missed that one? So you can have brake faults. What else we got? Wheel brake fault, tyre pressure, nose wheel steering, hydraulic valves, gear locks, gear failure, locked up. There you go. Yeah, it's locked up. Locked down. Robbie, the 777 finals into Heathrow, double engine failure. Good shout. Yeah, frozen ice caused that, of course. Oliver, Sprint Design, good evening to you. Stream's looking good on the big TV tonight. Wife's fast asleep after 3G, and so you're able to tune in. We might wake her up with a stormy landing later on. You turn that volume up. Dark Fury with another one, a dual engine failure, City of Derry Airport in Eglinton, Londonderry, November 2020. I'm not familiar with that one either, actually. Look at the winds, or rather the lack of winds. How often do you see 33,000 feet up, almost no wind? Christian with another one, Garodi, Indonesia flight. 737 after entering the thunderstorm, both engines flamed out. Oh yes, I do know that one. One of the features I like on this, I like the flight map. He says, struggling to remember where it is. Is it on the Navigraph page? No, it's not, is it? Is it on the My Flight page? Yes, here. Oh, I thought it showed you a little aircraft icon. Maybe I was wrong. Well, I think it might do that if you are not logged into Navigraph, if memory serves. Matt says it's never that lucky with the winds. 90% of the time you've got a 50 knot headwind. Okay, about 1,000 feet to go. Matt says if you bring up the Navigraph page and click on the route, it brings up the full map. Does it? Let's check that out. Oh, there it is. Yeah, thank you, mate. Oh, I like that. I really like that. This is the kind of view that you. This is the kind of view you get when you've got a full-on board entertainment system, isn't it? At the back of the headrest or whatever, and you can tap away and see where you are. Christian, you think all the Airbus-related dual-engine failures were either bird strikes or they ran out of fuel? Yeah, well, neither's good, but indeed, I see your point. Aviation on Twitch, thank you for the follow. Alright, let's print design. Week until Father's Day, still can't decide on my next flight sim purchase. Concorde, Spitfire, Phoenix. Any recommendations? I've got to be honest, it's going to be the Phoenix. It can't not be. But then that's just me personally. I'm more commercial aviation than a commercial aviation lover than I am military. So I probably wouldn't enjoy the Spitfire the same way other people would. Frank7 on Twitch as well. Thank you for following, mate. And the Concorde. I love the Concorde. It's probably my favourite aircraft that no longer flies. I think she was an amazing beast. But I also think to do it properly, no single pilot could perhaps do that. Right, fuel check time at Lima Charlie Echo. Lima Charlie Echo, so we've got 1.4 tons of extra fuel, so that would be 6.8, about 6.4 tons. No, that's wrong. 7.4 tons. Oh, either way, we've got a bit less than that. Still got enough fuel. That's the main thing. It's going to be more important when we see what the weather's actually like at our destination. Should have 7.2 tons. We've got just under 7.1. Quick top of climb checks as well. Make sure everything's working as it should be.
Ladies and gentlemen from the Cockpit, once again, just to let you know that we've reached our cruise level for the base ride. We're not anticipating any delay, so we should have you at your destination on time as planned. As the cabin crew make their way around the aircraft, please make sure they are clear of any items. You may sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight. Thank you.
There we go, that's a nice temperature as well in the cabin, isn't it? Balmy 22 degrees. All systems normal. Right, be on the ground in about an hour. Christian, yeah, I just mentioned that a bit ago. Pretty much 0 winds where we are at the minute. Very, very rare to see. Friday night quiz question. Why is the fuel in the outer tanks warmer than the fuel in the inner tanks? I'll leave that with you for a few minutes while I enjoy these gorgeous views.
Ladies and gentlemen, our cabin crew will be around shortly to commence our hot meal and snack service. Please ensure that your tray tables are in the downward position. To assist our cabin crew, please keep the aisles free of bags and any other items you may have. The food and snacks menu can be found in the back pocket of the seat in front of you. There is also a children's selection of food and healthy snacks available. Please dispose of any rubbish you may have in the bag provided at the ends of the aisles. We accept payment in cash or credit and debit card. Thank you for your support of this channel.
Do you know what? After listening to that cabin announcement, snacks sound like a really good idea. If you're enjoying the flight so far, guys, please do hit that like button. It means a great deal to the channel. Promise it does. So thank you so much if you already have. And JW Cruz on Twitch, thank you so much for the follow. Some great landscapes down there, isn't there? I mean, actually imagine living somewhere like that, right on the edge of the Caribbean. Technical answer from Dark Fury. Easy answer from Christian, because Charlton's put ice cubes in the outer tanks. Do you mean the inner tanks? The inner tanks are the colder ones. Not by much, it has to be said today. Looking at the fuel used as well compared to the fuel we currently have on board, where we've got no fuel leaks. Shame about that blurry part of the landscape down there, isn't it? It's very loud, that external view. Danny says circulates fuel to cool the IDG. Matt, inner tanks have way more volume, so they say cooler. Jayhawk says, my cousin who's in Mexico at the moment says it's far too hot. She picked it in the middle of summer. Barry, can you hold in the Phoenix? If so, as there is no hold button in the book. Yes, there is, Barry. You have to select where you want to hold. So for example, hang on, if I go to the secondary flight plan, because I don't want to do this in the real flight plan, let me just copy the active flight plan. Where are we headed to? So we've got Pompo showing just here. 1 second. If I select Pompo there and pop a hold in, compute the hold, and return, then it should. Why is it not showing me the? Oh yes, it is. It's just, you can just see it's just there. Hang on, there you are. Yeah, so that is how you put a hold in. Obviously I did it on the secondary flight plan, not on the main flight plan. Jack's Games, hello to you, hope you're well. Let's have a look at the current METAR at our destination. Are we going to get in? We'll run some landing calculations, we'll check the METAR, and we'll also have a look at the arrival. The arrival's not particularly difficult, it's the conditions that may make it difficult today. Right, so we have currently got visibility. Look, the winds are pretty light, so they're not an issue. 5,000 meters of visibility. Technically, that's no problem. Should still be able to see the runway. We've got thunderstorms and rain. Few clouds, 1,200 feet, cumulonimbus. So really, we shouldn't have any problems getting in. The issues we may have is things like the thunderstorm clouds in our way. We'll have to deviate around those if they look like they're going to cause us an issue. Christian, did I say 500? Sorry, 5,000. 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers visibility. And we need 2.3. Oh, J-Hog, you've just asked the question as well. Are thunderstorms forecast on the landing? Yes. Yep. And we've got cumulonimbus clouds east and southeast of the airfield. Carl B, happy Friday to you. Hope you're well. Right, let's bring up the arrival charts. See what these look like. I'm loving this. I really like that. I don't know why I've never used that before. It's quite neat, isn't it? Have we got highways and... they work as well if you have got Navigraph. Oh, do you know what? That, as nice as that is, I kind of just like the map. I think the map looks great. Soon we shall be passing Colon. Yeah, Danny, not having a weather radar. Bit of a pain. You probably wouldn't dispatch this aircraft to an area like this with no working weather radar and thunderstorms. I mean, that's not asking... that's just asking for trouble. Spliff Jam, good evening to you. Hope you're well. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. It's the weekend. Right, let me think. Charts, that's what we were doing. And another Palmer. There's so many Palmers, Christian. Now, how do I get off the map page? Oh, it's there. There's the tab. Right, arrival. Let's have a look. See. So we're going to be on the Budded 1 Charlie arrival, for runway 06. They're just all RNAV arrivals, so it's that one and then approach RNAV 06. So there's only two. Just check the ground charts. There's probably not going to be many for those either. I'm going to start by checking this. How long's the runway? Not massive. Very short taxi at the end. So this is going to be nice and straightforward, pretty much. We want to be 4,000 feet at Livid. Livid, it's not Livid, it's Lviv. 4,000 feet at Lviv. And from Lviv, we want to be 3,000 feet at Bogox. Down to 1,650 feet at Acrux. And that's where we get a nice 3-degree descent path. Arrival. Right, how are we going to do this then? Let's sort it out. So 3,000 at Lviv, we then need to lose 1,000 feet in 6 miles. That's absolutely no problem at all. So we should easily be able to bleed off speed that we need. Let's go with green dot here at Lviv. And then from there we can go flaps 1 and by Acrux we need to be flaps 2. Very important, as you know, I like my annotations just so I can quickly look up and reference them. What was that? Oh, no, don't want that. Ah, how do I get rid of that? There we are. We need to make sure we're at 1,650. Call it 1,600 at Acrux. Very important. That's a little bit thicker than I wanted. Well, never mind. This makes it even harder to... Oh, look, what is that? Makes it much harder to draw with this FS Realix because I'm just bouncing up and down. Right, let's do it properly, shall we? So 1,600 at this point, and 3,000 at this point. There we go. So in terms of speed, it's pretty self-explanatory. Green dot, and then at from Bogox. How many miles away are we at Bogox actually? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's fine. So green dot. We'll pull flaps 1, 180 knots, 3,000 feet. 3,000 feet, 180 knots. Easily get flaps 2 out, down to 1,600 feet, and then follow the VNAV path. Lovely. A couple of other things then to grab from this chart. So the runway we're landing on is runway 06. We need to check the GPS database, make sure that GPS is working correctly. Transition altitude again here in America, 18,000. That platform is 1650. Minimum safe altitude is not shown on that chart, funnily enough. Let's have a quick look. Oh, it's 1,500 feet. It was obviously, it was in the middle of the Caribbean. It's not going to be very high. 1,500 feet, and our minimums are what? 573. Airfield elevation is 20 feet, and missed approach. 3,000 feet. Lovely. Right, back into the chat. Jake Aviation, good evening from Bristol. You're on your approach into Madeira. Currently first time landing the Phoenix in this gusty airport. How windy is it? Are you still within limits? That's one thing to check, definitely. Can the A330 travel from the States to Europe? Oh yeah, easily. Absolutely no problem at all. Christian, did I just try and paint a pentagram? A little bit of Leonardo painting on there. Danny, you've just departed from Panama. That was a good shout. Looks like a lot of jungle down there. Jungle that side. Storm clouds that side.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to commence our service of hot drinks and alcoholic beverages. Please assist us by ensuring your tray tables are down and that the aisles are kept clear of bags. Our drinks menu can be found in the pocket in front of you. We serve a variety of local and international coffee, tea, beers, wines, and spirits. Please note that alcoholic drinks will not be served to those under 18 years of age. We accept payment in cash or credit and debit cards. Thank you for your support of this channel.
Danny, you had to change your tree settings back to high instead of ultra. Why? Were they just trees everywhere? Well, we've got Rex AccuSeasons on here in the sim, so we'll see how that affects our airport as we get in. Jake Aviation, base turn on, I've now onto 5. Well, if you're on the base turn, I hope your gear's down, your flaps 3. And you're at VAP speed. If not, good luck. See you in the Atlantic. It's probably the biggest advice I can give anyone doing the 05 approach into Madeira. Check out the brief that has been written in our Discord server in the pilot's briefing room for Madeira by the Funchal VOR. Get that gear down, flaps 3. Yes, it's slow and steady, but that is exactly how it's done in real life. Danny says, you really like Rexy on the streams, but it might be a bit expensive. How much is Rex AccuSeasons? I didn't think it was that much. But I do think it adds a heck of a lot. I really do. Look at these cloud layers today. These are stunning. Thin cloud layer at the top. Do you know what? These are just mini. These are storm clouds brewing. That's what they are. We've got just little splashes of islands as well. Seeing just random little islands dotted around like this off the off the mainland coast reminds me when we went on our honeymoon. We went to Mauritius, stayed in a beautiful hotel, and probably about, I want to say half a mile. It wasn't far, but probably about half a mile off the peaceful Indian Ocean coast, there was an island. And it was a nature reserve island, but you could grab a boat if you wanted, and you could sail out to it, which was great. I thought, come on, let's go. Once you got there, you couldn't actually do anything. You could just stand on the sort of sand that was the base of the island. Then everything else was nature preserved. You weren't allowed to go up any further. But I just wanted to do it. And we did it. We got there. It took us absolutely blooming ages to get there, and it was a pedal boat as well. So it was a pedalo. We pedaled our way through the middle of the Indian Ocean, get to this island, and when we got there, and I climbed out and stood in it. Oh man, I felt like Tom Hanks in Castaway, except there was another like 20 people all behind us doing the same thing. But it was just that sort of freedom that you were stood on this random little island in the middle of this massive ocean on the earth. Great little feeling. Dark Fury says it's $16.99, so I don't think that's bad for something that does affect the entire planet, and they do keep bringing out little updates as well. Danny, what do you mean again? I never drink and fly. I'm just reminiscing. Let's do a landing calculation. Then pretty much we're all done, aren't we? So runway 06. It's raining, isn't it, as well? Let's check that. Thunderstorms and rain. Alright. Well, if that's the case, we will go with... Oh, no, not departure. We shall go with... Let's go good to medium. Grab the weather. I don't know why I went back there. It shows that you're here, doesn't it? Landing weight. What's our landing weight? Zero fuel weight is 57.7. What fuel are we planning to land with? 5.3. So that's 63 tons. Let's be conservative. Auto brake medium it is. Stefan, good afternoon. Hope you're well. Danny, you've just clicked on the expedite climb. Why? Did you just want to see what it did? Right, let's fill out the performance page as well then, I guess. So we've got QNH is 1011. I like the meta here, the fact it gives you the altitude of the QNH in both units. So 1011. Temperature is 24. Oh, that sounds nice. Oh, look at the dew point. The dew point is also 24. How humid is that? What are those winds? The winds were quite light, weren't they? 102 at... Eh? 102 at 0? Oh no. 100 at 5. I'm trying to read the times, the winds. That barrow was 573. Perhaps 138. Clean 230. 231. 9F6. Landing is 4. Right, well, if that meta is to believe, then it probably won't be long till we see the start of some thunderstorms. Alas, did I go to the Crocodile Park or Victoria Waterfalls in Mauritius? You went on anniversary yesterday and you had your honeymoon in Mauritius 21 years ago. Would be a good place to do a flight to. We did it on one of our long haul flights. We went and landed at Mauritius. Now, 21 years ago, I'm guessing it was very different to how it was 6 years ago when we went. Or was it 5 years ago? When did I get married? Probably best I don't show the wife this stream. But a lot had happened recently when we arrived. So at the airport, massively upgraded, big enough to take the Airbus A380 because we flew with Emirates there. And for what the locals were telling us, a lot of the Chinese had come in, invested a heck of a lot of money in the island. They'd even built some of the buildings there, and it was very weird because obviously the rest of the island was not run down, derelict and third world. That's not what it's like at all. But it's not like a downtown Shanghai or anything like that. But just occasionally you'd be driving along a little dirt track road, and at the side you'd see this massive glass skyscraper, which just looked so out of place. Ideal fly, how do you get the barrel reference? Okay, so they are the minimums, the minimum descent altitudes that you're allowed to get down to. So for instance, on our approach today, our minimums are here. So you're looking at the DA, the decision altitude, which is 573. There is a full tutorial video on the channel somewhere about approach minimums explained, so that's a good video to watch, and we'll hopefully explain all of your questions and answer them for you. So we've got about 90 miles to sit and chill before our top of descent. Just see some little tufts of cumulus congests down here. That one looks a little bit thick as well. I do like this view with the scratched windows from the wipers. Jake Aviation down 60 feet per minute. That sounds fantastic. Well done, Jake. Jake, back off to Gran Canaria now from from Madeira. 6 more flights to go on tonight's flight. Jake, are you in the UK? You'll be flying all night. Or are you elsewhere in the world and have some time off? Or are you in Australia and you've just woken up? Jake, you're in Bristol, my word. So you're not going to bed tonight then, Jake? That's what you need to do. You need to now just hop over to the Canaries. Then maybe zip across to Portugal. From there, you then got the option. Head out to sort of Central Eastern Europe, or fly back up to Bristol. So this is now we're just looking at the navigation display. If we had some sort of catastrophic failure and we needed to get in somewhere, the closest airport is 80 miles away down here, and without looking at it, I don't even know if we could actually get in there. Dr. Magic currently in deep negotiations with my wife and son to work out when I'm allowed to fly this weekend. Oh, I have such an understanding wife. I also have a very busy wife, so She's busy working at the moment anyway, so if I wasn't doing this, I'd just be sat watching TV. Danny says very scenic flights as well over the pitch black blue in the darkness. So Jake, where are you going? You're doing Madeira, Las Palmas, back to Madeira, Fuerteventura, back to Madeira, then where's that? Is that Marrakesh? And then back to Madeira. Do you like Madeira, by the way? Jake, these are the positives about not having a wife, I guess. Or a job to get up for in the morning. Oh, guys, I'm seeing a trend here. Oh, Jake, is that Lanzarote? I'm seeing a trend here. So, Dr. Magic is negotiating with his wife. Matt Warren also negotiating with his wife. Is this the thing? Is this what we have to do? We love our flight sims that much that that we're all in wife negotiations every weekend to see when we can fly. Right. Also, just looking at the charts, I'm going to hard tune the San Andreas VOR in there, which is Sierra Papa Papa. So we've got that as well. Funnily enough, it's not the same identifier, but that looks very much like Funchal, doesn't it? Speaking of Madeira. Mark, any particular reason why your sudden FPFs is rubbish? Even though you flew yesterday, it was fine with no different changes in scenery. Oh, Mark, that's just the beauty of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Keeps you on your toes. I would check the temperatures and the load of like the hard drive and all that kind of technical stuff, which Dark Fury, my MOC, will talk to you endlessly about because he knows what he's on about. I don't. Dark Fury, my wife, lets me fly if there's a flight, unless you're busy. Oculus, your wife just asks where are you flying to and then watches Netflix. J-Hog, no problem for you. You just say Gav's flying and that's it. Yeah, but that's because I know your wife, J-Hog, and she'll be quite happy just to have you out the way. Danny, you just have to negotiate with the dog. Oh yeah, let's not forget the first officers in the flight decks. Danny, am I flying the Big Shot 1 Charlie? No, I'm on the Boded 1 Charlie. We're coming in via Boded. Stefan, the Phoenix is indeed currently only limited to, in fact, forget your Simbi profile, use the one that actually is designed for the Phoenix, available on their Discord server. Giglotti says we're all whipped. J-Hug, she's trying to get you to set up in the garage. Oh, you don't want that. Mind you, you wouldn't be cold with the amount of heat that the GPUs kick out, would you? You see, this is where Microsoft Flight Simulator has another one of its amazing tricks up its sleeve, and that is flying over oceans was in the past boring. It just looked the much of a muchness. Microsoft Flight Simulator now, with the different weather systems and the random cloud shapes, etc., I would be quite happy to just sit and watch this whilst doing something else, as you would do on a real flight. You know, you'd sit there reading a paper or reading a paper. That's very 1980s, but you know what I mean. You'd be sat doing something else, but occasionally just glancing out the window and going, oh, that's nice or different. No other simulator holds your attention the same way Microsoft Flight Simulator does. Stefan, that is indeed very true. Happy wife, happy life. J-Hog, you could have 365-inch TVs. And what GPU would you need to run that? You'd need 3 computers, wouldn't you? All networked together. Why don't you just build a flight sim in the garage? Matt, I should just do a flight to Hawaii then. I know. I think we've done that back in our long haul days. Jake, no, I'm not on Volanta. No. Right, are these clouds getting a bit thicker, do we reckon? Hey, Dark Fury. I had 4 kids in my case. I made the fatal mistake today of letting them all have a bag of sweets before bed. It was a Friday night and we took our eldest out. He plays cricket on a Friday night and it's really nice and warm. The tuck shop was open and I just wanted the kids to leave us alone. That came back to bite me come bedtime. Crunchtrap, what is our alternate tonight? Good question. The alternate is Sierra Kilo Golf Charlie, wherever that is. Can you tell I don't know this neck of the woods too well? These clouds are getting a bit thicker, aren't they? Oh yeah, look. This is what we're going to be descending into. Danica, we're playing Cancun as the alternate. It's probably nice and warm over there. I think Panama was also one of my alternates tonight. Katie Zora, good evening to you. Right, well, this beautiful, nice weather, calm skies, looks like it's about to get shattered. Perhaps Microsoft Flight Simulator weather is going to give us that METAR to fly through. Oh, winds are now variable at 2 knots. Visibility is 7,000, so that's increased slightly. It's light thunderstorms and rain. And RLS Print Design, mate, welcome to Training Captain level membership. Make sure you get yourselves in the VIP room on our Discord server. Thank you so much, RLS, for your support. Really do appreciate that. So, winds are variable at 2. Alright, let's go 060 at 2. QNH still 1011. Yep. .24 degrees. So we're ready for the arrival into the storm clouds. I reckon this has the potential to be quite an epic arrival. Matt, what's my favourite pay-away airport in Europe? Brussels is obviously amazing, but very, very demanding on your hardware. I love Manchester, maybe just because it's my local. I was trying to think of some of the other really good ones. There are so many good ones. There really are. Athens is nice as well. It's not bloody Gatwick. For anyone that watches the channel regularly.
Ladies and gentlemen, from flight deck once again, this is your captain speaking, and you will be reminded that we will shortly be starting our descent into our destination. The cabin crew will shortly plan diagram all our arrival, and if you will make sure all the aisles are now clear, so that the captain can make the way around the aircraft safely, that would be most appreciated. Thank you very much, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Right then. Let's head down to flight level 180 to begin with. So thrust idle, open descent, 180 blue. We'll wait for MMO to bleed off and then I'll pop that into managed descent. Gatwick to desktop is what you call it, Matt. Love it. I like Glasgow. Glasgow's good scenery as well. Cannot wait to see what these clouds have in store. Jake, all the arrival information should be at the top of the screen, I think. Okay, pop that into descent mode. RLS, your best bet if you want to get things like proper live traffic in is use something like AIG. If you're on our Discord server, RLS, go in there and the channel member Nick or one of the others will ping a link to you. It's a hefty download, but very, very worth it for the immersion factor. I'll tell you what I haven't done. Lviv, we need to be 4,000 feet. Let's just quickly change that. And put a speed constraint in there. Hi flyers at Twitch, thank you for joining us. And at Bogox, 3,000 feet, slow after that, 180 knots, 3,000 feet, and call it 1.9, we'll still be bleeding off speed at this point. That's enough to get our flaps 2 out. There we go. Right, where are we going to intercept? Are we going to intercept the profile? Clouds are coming in harsh and fast now, aren't they?
Ladies and gentlemen, take advantage today of some fantastic savings and offers from our in-flight magazine. This can be found in the back pocket of the seat in front of you. These shopping ideas and gifts offer you tax-free savings with many items not available anywhere else and exclusive to you during your flight today. Our cabin crew will be around shortly to also offer you the chance to purchase airline lottery tickets. There is a chance to win some fantastic prizes, including cash and holidays. We accept payment in cash or credit and debit cards. Thank you for your support of this channel.
So dark, the reason you're looking banana yellow is basically because I don't have Avianca installed. Flying over Europe, it's very rare that we venture into this part of the world, so didn't want to clog the drive up with liveries that I am rarely going to see. Right, let's get back on this profile. We're not that far away from it now, looking at it. There we go. Once we've met up with that, we can pop it back into managed speed and descend in it and sort itself out. This kind of cloud, though, can really damage your frame rates, which is a shame. But you can see the cumulus congests all over the place now. These little dark tufts, which are very dense. Okay, so I'm going to push for our managed descent now all the way down to 4,000 feet. So we'll need to set our local pressure. Set 1011. There it is. And just checking, not going long before we intercept that, after which we will then let the aircraft take over. Matt, do I remember when Microsoft Flight Sim came out and almost any cloud would produce thunder no matter what the weather? Yes, I do remember that bug. That was annoying for a while, wasn't it? Hi Flyers on Twitch as well, thank you so much for the follow. Okay, our profile now looks alright. Just whilst we keep that managed speed back in, let me throw the spoilers out.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, you may have noticed we've begun our descent into our destination. We're not expecting any further delays or traffic in front of us in the next few minutes, so if you do assist the cabin crew by tidying your tray through the back and putting any, let's say, the bags provided. For safety reasons, please set off all electronic devices and switch them to airplane mode until we have them. Please also note that the aircraft toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you. So it may get a little bit bumpy as we start to get down. Let's pop the seatbelt signs on nice and early.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fasten seatbelt sign has been turned on. Please ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened and return to your seats immediately if you are not already seated. Infant seatbelts are provided for our passengers travelling with small children. Please ensure that they are secured safely and ask a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. The toilets will now go out of use until the fasten seatbelt sign
Ratio, your mother's nationality. Oh, that's nice to hear. It was a nice departure out of... I can't even remember where we departed from. I'm sorry. I'm just so unfamiliar. Where did we depart from? Medellin. Rhinoceros, the cabin announcements come from self-loading cargo, not the Phoenix. Cheetah, do you ever think when it rains the sim always looks very foggy? It doesn't feel like the sim has rain with good visibility. I've not actually thought about that too much, to be honest with you.
San Andreas traffic, Bianca 875 is now 8 miles from Medellin, passing through 5,000 feet, so down to 200 knots of traffic.
So we've got the sun currently high in the sky above us. These clouds are starting to look a bit thick, aren't they? Where's that working weather radar when we need it? Danny says it's heavy thunder on finals. We need the weather radar. Yeah, have to make do without today, I'm afraid. Anyway, landing checklist. Not landing checklist, approach checklist. We're not landing just yet, we're still over the water. Approach checklist. Our arrival briefing is confirmed. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimums 573 set. Engine mode selector is normal, EFP is stowed. See, Danny and Dark are both ahead of us. I feel like you're giving us spoilers here, guys. You're telling us how bad the weather's going to be. I'm excited to see if it is going to be as bad as what the METAR has said. Sounds like the METAR's got it absolutely spot on. Right, as we are coming up on 10,000 feet, up to flight 250 knots. RLS, in the real world, would you warn the passengers about the weather or not? You might just make a PA and say it could be a bit of a bumpy landing, nothing to concern yourselves with, but so don't be too alarmed if the aircraft is shaking a little bit as we land. Everything is safe and the aircraft can take it. Pipe K, indeed we are, yes. We're now just coming on 10,000 feet. We'll get the landing lights out. Look at some of these build-ups. Definitely need that weather radar. You can see the rain falling here as well.
Traffic, I got a 3 landing runway here.
Yeah, probably want to go around that. So we'll just veer around what looks like a very dense build-up just there. Christian also agreeing with me. Now, if you had got working weather radar, you literally could fly your course through the build-ups. ourselves back on track. Back in nav mode. Back to manage descent, nav. Activate the approach phase. And we just want to check the nav accuracy is high so that we can fly this approach. Okay, let's start slowing down to green dot then as planned at Lviv. San Andreas traffic, Viva Colombia 5518 is on inbound 5 miles from Lviv for the RMP approach, runway 06, 5,000 feet. So we can see the VDEV scale is already alive. So 4,000 magenta, we've just set the FCU 3,000 feet. We can actually now go ahead, set our minimums, which is 1,600. We'll let the managed approach, managed descent take care of that. There we go, 3,000 magenta. We're now at green dot as planned. Nicely on that profile, holding well. What's time minimum? 573. We shouldn't have a problem according to the METAR, but we'll wait and see. At the moment, you can't see because it's so cloudy. The cloud is getting thicker and thicker, it's getting darker and darker, but we are literally over the Caribbean aiming for a tiny island.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be relieved to know we are about to land. Please make sure you are seated with your belts fastened and your trays in the upright position. Please turn off all electronic devices.
747 Dan, good evening.
Thank you.
Flaps 1, speed's checked. Now that extra drag to help us get down to 1,600 feet. Coming up now as we pass 200 knots. Flaps 2, speed's checked. Flaps 2.
San Andreas traffic, Avianca 875 vacate runway 06.
Here comes the rain, guys. FS Realistic Pro doing its thing as well. Look at the vibrations.
2,500.
Radio altimeter alive. Right, final approach mode is captured. Missed approach. 3,000 feet. I will push for manage speed.
Cabin crew, seats for left.
Right, let's get the gear down. Spoilers armed. All the lights on. Right, let's see if we can find a runway throughout all this rain. Do you know what? That's actually quite off-putting. I'm going to leave that turned off. Flaps 3. We're flying through a thunderstorm, Ronald, so yeah, just keep that on for now. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin is secured. Auto thrust speed. Going on altitude 3000. Set. Eco memo. Landing no blue.
1,000.
Rain stopped. Come on, runway. Where are you? Once we can see it, we can sort ourselves out and get ourselves in. There it is.
Hundred above.
I can just see it.
Minimum 500.
I have control. Not the weather you want in the Caribbean, is it, if you're coming here and thinking you're in for a nice holiday?
We're
a bit high, you know.
50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Fire.
Just got her down in the landing zone.
Well, bad landings happen.
Disconnect the auto brakes. And we're down. What was that landing rate?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now arrived at our destination. The crew will now commence preparing the aircraft for deboarding. Can passengers please remain in your seats with your seat belts fastened until the captain turns off the seat belt signs. You may now turn on your phones and electronic devices. Thank you for choosing to fly with us today, and please consider becoming a channel member to receive extra benefits on your future flights with us. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Well, what was it he said? Bad landings happen. I'll take that. We got down. Oh, these click points, they really do frustrate me at times. This is great freeway scenery airport, honestly, this is fantastic. I'll see what the self-loading cargo said the touchdown rate was in a moment. We'll check that out. Imagine coming here for your Caribbean holiday and this is the weather you've got. Self-loading cargo had it at 255 FPM. Small airport but really colourful, yeah. It's almost payware quality, this, isn't it? Oh, it is payware quality, really nice. Happy with this little download before we came here. Engines 1 and 2 shut down, seatbelt sign come off. Fuel pumps can come off. Engine N1 is below 10, there we are. Beacon lights off and squawking 2000, stand by, deboard. Jan 240 says very much look like it looks in real life. Have you been able to see there as well? Oh, we've left the flaps and spoilers out. Oh dear. Oh well, we could add some hydraulic pressure to that. It'll come up, but very slowly. There we go. Jan 42 says, yeah, you've been there some years ago as well. You had better weather. I bet you did. This is, but look at the quality of the airport. I mean, this is really neat. Shame the weather isn't there to do it justice. Fantastic. I'm loving this livery as well. Viva Air. Honestly, they've gone and done everything, haven't they? Little walkways as well for the ground crew. Are the stairs honestly that blue? That's incredible. Lovely. Well, guys, sorry I couldn't get you better weather, but it was an eventful landing nevertheless. We all have bad ones occasionally. That's our Friday night. Oh, look at that. Is that a... what is that? What's one of the old RAF bases on there? RAF aircraft. Not RAF, obviously, but... I wonder if that's there in real life. Amazing. I love little freeway scenery airports that you get like this. The amount, it's a labour of love when a developer puts so much work into something like this. It looks like a C-130, David, yes. My knowledge of military aviation is very, very poor. But, yeah, the Hercules. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me on our Friday Night Live, our Colombia special. Something a little bit different, a little bit of a change from the usual European EasyJet flights. VivaAir.com. Fantastic. Hope you've all got a great weekend lined up. Let me know how your flights go. Love seeing the screenshots on our Discord server as well. So I'll be sure to be checking those out. And Ishan, I have a GTX 1660 and a Ryzen 5 3600 for the moment, but we'll be upgrading shortly. That side of the airport is the Colombian Navy, Andres. Fair enough. I gathered as much. My Spanish and Portuguese is pretty ropey, but I could pretty much guess what it stood for. Thanks very much, everyone, for your support during the stream today. For those of you who donated and contributed to the channel, thank you so much. For these Jets in Pilot channel members as well, for your continued support. I really do appreciate all of that as well. I look forward to seeing you guys over the weekend and chatting with you on Discord. Let's hope for better weather than what we have right here. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking, and we hope you enjoyed your flight with us today. On behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew, we'd like to wish you a safe and pleasant journey from the airport, and we hope to see you again very soon. For more information about becoming a channel member, please contact a member of the cabin crew on your way out, and thank you very, very much for supporting Ladies and Gentlemen channel.